going, my coffee friends? Hope you all are doing really well. Guys, my name is Tony. You are watching Faith in Coffee Bean. Oh my goodness. If you're watching this later on, please know this is a live video. This is one of my live streams. Hey man, how's it going? How you doing, Rob? Thanks for the comment, man. I really appreciate it. Definitely really appreciate you hanging out with me. Guys, this video is all going to be about budget grinders, okay? I have some of my budget grinders hanging out right here. And these are the grinders I get questioned about all the time, okay? I mean, all the time. See these two grinders right here? So this is the Shardor 64 grinder. And hey, what's up? Hey, Alexis. And this is the Mokkom grinder that is really awesome. And I get a lot of questions. You guys, I made a video not too long ago about kind of comparing these two grinders together. And I get questions all the time about these grinders. And I get it. I totally get it. So today, this video is to help answer a lot of these questions I get. Hey, definitely appreciate it. The ECM10 Gevi is chilling right there. It is right behind us. And I actually have my Turin Gallatin heat exchanger it just cooled down. But if we need to fire that up, I turned on the boiler. And then today we're gonna be working with my unmodified Gaggia Classic Pro E24, y'all. So that is something, I kind of want to do the video with the Gaggia Classic Pro because, guys, I am going to be doing a mod with Crematune. So big thank you, big shout out to Crematune. Guys, Crematune sent me one of their systems, oh gosh, like 2 months ago, and life is crazy. Life just happens. I ended up switching jobs and a bunch of stuff going on in my personal life. And unfortunately, I just couldn't get to it. So big thank you to them. I also wanted to, I was kind of thinking originally of taking my Gaggia Mate out of my other one and putting in the Crematune in it. But I couldn't make myself do that. Guys, I really love Gaggia Mate. If you have, I like both. Let's put it that way. And one day if I get Gaggiuino, I will try Gaggiuino. But the Gaggia Mate is just super cool. So I'm going to be leaving the Gaggia Mate in my other Gaggia Classic Pro, my red one. This will get Crematune. And then I will be installing Gaggia Mate after that in the time being to basically into my MiCoffee Apex 2. So a lot of cool stuff ahead. So definitely, like I said, guys, before, make sure you like and subscribe. I could only do this with y'all. So you guys are the reason why I do this. This is not my full-time job. I am not a full-time YouTuber. I probably will never be a full-time YouTuber. I like doing this kind of stuff because I'm a crazy geek about it. And I love making coffee at home. And I love hanging with y'all. So I'm going to give you guys some honesty. I'm going to go ahead and spill the tea a little bit right now because I think that really hasn't been done too much. Because like I said, I get a lot of questions about these two grinders. So this is the OG Shardor 64. I did a video on this. I found out about this from Ahun's channel, and he had Randy on one of his live shows, and they had this grinder. And then I did it, and then I know that Tom's Coffee Corner, I really like Tom's channel. He's one of my favorite YouTubers. He did this one, and then Lance did it. I feel like everyone has just heard a lot about this. So I'm going to call this one the OG version, okay? So this grinder, it runs right now about 169. So I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to kind of spill the tea, spill the coffee. We're going to get the espresso, pour it out, talk all the jazz that you probably don't hear. So what happens in the coffee equipment world, and especially in the budget world, is there are original manufacturers, okay? OEMs. So I have done a lot of research on Shardor, and I have talked to them, and they're awesome. I really love the grinders they make. And if you haven't figured this out already, guys, This isn't a copy of this. It's made by Shardor. It is an OEM is the Shardor is the OEM. So these are really, I said this before in my video, these are really brothers because they're made at the same factory. So a lot of times I get questions where someone's like, should I get this one or should I get this one? And why is this one better than that one? So I'm just gonna cut right to the chase. They are almost virtually identical. This grinder has a little bit higher wattage, but the motor and the internals are basically the exact same thing. This is gonna be, right now it's running in the US and Canada, well no, not in Canada. In the US, I know it's 169. I know Canada, I have so many great friends in Canada, especially the GTA area. I love the GTA area in Canada. The prices are up right now with this stuff, so it's kind of stinks. But basically here in the States, 169, right now 179, okay? So really the only big difference, and I'm just gonna straight up say it, is just the build. So internals, if you were to open these up, it's basically the same thing. Like I said, the wattage is a little bit higher on this. The difference is the plastic. So plastic construction, metal construction on the outside. You get a lot of really good accessories. So what comes stock right out of the box is this, okay? Whoa, I'm dropping stuff. That's lovely. You ever just drop something and watch it just roll away? That's what just happened with the lid. So right out of the box, you get this perfectly fitted blower, okay? And it fits. I mean, hear that suction? That's kind of creepy. It fits really well. So you're gonna get this, you're gonna get a hopper, and I really am not into the big hoppers, guys. I'm always into single dosing. You don't see any big hoppers in this kitchen. That's okay if you are. There's not anything wrong with that. If you have a cafe or you're running a business, totally cool. I drink my coffee too much. I don't like to keep it around and let it get stale. So that's kind of a big thing. So right out of the box, you get this. Right now, Shardor has this exact one with that wooden top. I'm gonna go grab it here. I just dropped it for 17 bucks here in the States. So if you get this grinder, it doesn't come with this, okay? This is a 3D print by a good friend of the channel and subscriber. Dave, if you watch this video later, man, you are my hero for making these. Do you have to have this? No, but it really, it just works perfect. It's a custom 3D print plastic hopper, okay? So this one right here, I had Sweet LeBrew's burrs installed in it, and I switched the Sweet LeBrew's to the commercial class Shardor, okay? I put the stock burrs in here, and I'm gonna tell you guys this right now. The stock burrs are basically very similar to a really popular espresso burr, but it's geared a little bit different, so it'll be suitable for pour over, okay? So it's HU style. So that's what's in here. That's what we're gonna be brewing with today. So I'm gonna start off with this bad boy. And then you have, in my opinion, out of all three, if I could only choose three, it would be this one. So this is the big boy. This is 250 bucks. This is the behemoth. This is the Shardor Commercial Class, and it is well worth the money, hands down, y'all. Hands down, okay? If you have the 250, buy this, okay? If you are in the market, you want a secondary grinder possibly, you want something to be your primary that's gonna really help you out. The wattage on this, I wanna say is 350. I'm not 100%. Someone put it in the comments below if you know, but the wattage on this is really high. It's basically the same wattage you would get in a DF64, okay? I am just gonna tell you guys this right now. I love the DF grinders, okay? My favorite grinder of all time, and this is no joke, and I had a lot of people recommend it, is that grinder right there, the CF64V. I'm telling you guys, I've been using a lot of grinders, and this has been my good old faithful. I think this grinder is kind of like an unsung hero. I don't think there's a lot of people. A lot of people gave reviews that it was ugly, and that's okay if you think it's ugly. It works really good. So I'm a huge fan. I love the variable speed, so that's my favorite one. Okay, but right now that's about $400. The DF64. So I'm just going to kind of say this because I get this question a lot. People ask me, should I go with the DF64 or should I go with one of these grinders? This is what I'm going to tell you. DF64 is built like a tank. It's the king of the 64 millimeter grinders. You're going to love it. You can't go wrong. For $380, it's going to be worth it, and it's going to last you a really long time. I would go with Espresso Outlet or MiCoffee. I like MiCoffee. I get a lot of stuff from MiCoffee. Big shout out to them. Espresso Outlet, they're awesome. I really am a huge fan of Espresso Outlet, guys. Customer service-wise, Espresso Outlet is fantastic. They're amazing. They're based in the States. They have really good warranties. You could purchase more warranties with them. And this is what I'm going to kind of say. This is why I said it's kind of more like a spill the coffee thing, and then we'll brew a cup because I haven't had any espresso today, y'all, and I need some espresso. So here's the kind of big thing, and I get this all the time. I get questions all the time where someone says, should I get a DF grinder or should I get one of these? I'm going to tell you this right now. DF grinder is 100% worth it. I would definitely recommend it if you have the budget. If you don't have the budget, don't hold yourself back when making great coffee. These are amazing, budget-friendly, $169. That's why this really changed the market. So as far as 64 millimeter, you can't make a bad choice with any of these grinders. The one I haven't talked about too much, and I'll show you guys right before I start my first cup here. Yeah, hey, buddy. Thanks so much, Alexis. Alexis, I see your comment. You're asking, how are the fines on the SD40? So I actually brought this grinder out for this very reason. This is not an SD40. So I wanted to include this in the budget lineup. If you go on AliExpress and you're in the States, this would be found under IKAPE. So I made a review of this grinder, I want to say like 6 months ago. It's a big boy, okay? It's really big. It really is as heavy as a DF64. Okay, this is made by Hanyu here in the States, but also IKAPE. And IKAPE is kind of more in the Asian market. But when I made the review, this was $280. This is a 64 millimeter flat blind burr, and it is definitely HU style, okay? So it's like HU, they're basically HU clones, okay? Like SSP, but they're really clones. I mean, that's basically what it is. And when I did the review, this was going for about $280. You get the same type of production as what you would get, like as far as fines. I would compare this to a DF64V. So because it has the variable speed right here, you can adjust at RPM, and this is a really good one. And this is kind of my honorable mention. The only thing I'm going to tell you guys is right now, okay? This grinder on Amazon is crazy expensive. I don't know what happened. The manufacturer bumped it up to like $800. Please don't spend $800 on this. I'll just tell you that right now. But if you go to Ollie, you'll be able to find this for about $200 to $250. So you could, but it would be under IKAPE. But I didn't want to bring it out here because the SD40 is basically its brother, okay? Remember what I was saying in the beginning about OEMs? Well, I kind of have a feeling this is made the same place where they make the DF grinders. So it is definitely a brother, and it's worth a mention because it's pretty cool. All right, guys, let's go ahead. I need to pull a shot, and then we are going to, I do have, I kind of wanted to touch a little bit on conical grinders here because I do have, ooh, it's hot. I don't want to burn myself. I do have some conicals over here. Oh, I'm like not showing you guys. I have my Gammori 38T and 38 Plus. Okay, just to kind of talk, I kind of want to bring them out because the other big question I get all the time is I get folks asking me, should I get the Shardor or the Mokkom, or should I get insert Conical burr grinder? And I'm going to tell you guys right now, if it's like apples and oranges, okay? I really love Conical, and I'm not one of those folks that says, oh, only Conical, or only, only flat burr grinders. I really am a firm believer in all type of grinders. I think it's more about what coffee you drink, So that's kind of the more important question is what kind of coffee do you drink and what type of experience do you want to have? I think that's the most important thing. But conical versus flat, I think is an apples to orange argument. Not an argument, I shouldn't say that, but it's more like apples to oranges. It's like those are so two different things and kind of two different worlds. Yes, they both grind coffee, but they kind of do things a little bit different. And I really am a believer in having both. I love having a really good hand grinder, and y'all know I got a lot of hand grinders. So definitely it's a cool thing to have kind of both, and all that. And I think that's kind of the deal. I think if you're thinking about grinders, you should decide, your first thing you want to decide is, do you want to go conical or flat? Because you're going to have vastly different experiences. All right, guys, I'm sitting here and I'm jabbering around and I realize I didn't grab my coffee. So I am going to grab my coffee, and like I said, we're going to use the Mokkom first and pull some shots. Let me go ahead and grab the coffee really quick. Okay. Yeah, it's always a hard thing to decide how you want to go with your coffee. Especially grinders. I feel like grinders is like one of the number one things that we all kind of think about. And the hard thing is that, it can be kind of expensive. And that's why, a lot of us go budget. Ooh. All right. So let's go ahead. Now that I got my lid and my coffee, let's grind this up some espresso and pull some shots. Hope you all are having a great weekend. And I kind of think of these going lives as kind of just an informal kind of hangout, goof around with my coffee friends. All right, guys, do we want to go with some Mexican chiapas, the last bit of it, or some good old faithful OG Levanza Super Crema? That is the question. Okay. Nice. And I need to see where I'm at dial-in-wise. Another thing to think about with something like this, how are you going to use it? Are you going to use it with a portafilter, going direct to portafilter, okay, like so? Or are you going to be using this with a dosing cup? I tend to do it with a dosing cup. I really like using dosing cups, but that's something to kind of think about, because I think with some of these grinders, they're all pretty similar. They all have direct to portafilter, but it's definitely something I would consider. Some do it better than others. Let's put it that way. All right, let's go ahead. Let's measure out some beans. Yeah, I don't know if y'all have watched my new review of this. This has been really cool. I really like this dosing cup / scale. Really does help out with the workflow a bit. Right now I'm using the Gaggia portafilter, the 20 gram portafilter, official portafilter, and a 20 gram basket from IKAPE. gonna do what, 19 grams to get started with. Do a little RDT. Okay. Nice. Okay, let's go ahead, get this nice and ground up. I just want to double check where I'm at. I haven't used this grinder, oh man, in a couple weeks. That's kind of the hard part. Sometimes I got a lot of these different grinders and I love them all, and it's just kind of figure out where I'm going to put them. I do have something I'm going to show you guys here at the end of the video. I'm so excited. So I just got a M1 coffee roaster from Espresso Outlet. I'm going to be doing an unboxing video of that probably later on today. And I cannot wait, guys. I'm going to clear space in my garage, and I'm going to build a kind of a coffee roasting place, like a spot. And I'm going to put a lot of my grinders and stuff out there too, so I can really goof around, goof around in the garage. So I'm stoked about that. Let's see here. Oh, cool. I'm glad I checked this. So let me turn on the grinder. It was pretty, oh my goodness, it was way low. So my true zero is actually right about there. So I'm going to do right about 15 to get started. Again, I do have stock, but I've kind of messed around with a little bit of my alignment. So I know that that's kind of a thing. Let me go ahead. I should really realign these at some point. Might need to dial it in just a tiny bit. Man, nice, right? Yeah, I'm a firm believer in single dosing and having that blower up there. That's the best experience. So yeah, I mean, I get it, the attractive why people like the big pretty hoppers and all that cool stuff, but I don't know. It's just nice knowing that your beans aren't stale, you know. I guess that's the big thing. So definitely cool. Alrighty, guys, let's go ahead. Let's prep this shot. So again, this is the Gaggia Classic E24. This is completely stock. It's probably going to be stock only for another week or so. And then I'm going to start doing the Crematune. So I am really, really stoked about that. And a big thank you to them for Barista Gadgets for sending that out to me. They also sent me a couple other things they do, a low profile drip tray. So we're definitely going to be doing a low profile drip tray on this, just like my other Gaggia. And they also sent me one of the power flow. Is it the power flow regulator? Basically, it's what, if even not using the software, how you could do kind of a little bit of a pressure profile on top of that. Pretty cool stuff, guys. Pretty cool. They have a lot of cool stuff. Definitely make sure you go check out their Etsy. Their Etsy's really awesome. They have a lot of stuff, and they've been doing a lot of things for a long time. They're actually kind of one of the OG, I would say, Gaggia folks. You know, they do more than Gaggia stuff, but they do a good job with Gaggia. All right, so let's go ahead and pull this shot. I've been using this thing, this Cafe Sing WDT the most. Thing is built like a tank. Okay. Nice. If you all have some secret workflow tips, you're always more than welcome to share them. Got my impact tamper. I have a new palm tamper that just came in. I'm going to be doing a video on pretty soon. Pretty stoked about that. Nice, right? I think it looks pretty good. Okay, let's go ahead. Put the puck string right up top. We'll get it locked and loaded. Pull that shot. Nice. Yeah, I love the Gaggia. I truly do. This is one of my absolute favorite machines of all time. My wife thinks I'm totally crazy. I spent $109 on this thing as a refurb. She's like, don't you already have one? And don't you have like 10 other machines? I'm like, yeah, I do, but I gotta do a, I gotta do a mod. You know, hey, I have to do it for you all, right? I've got to do it for my channel. You know, my coffee friends, they make me do it, honey. I gotta buy that $400 espresso machine just to rip it apart and put something new in it. Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. All right, guys, let's pull this shot here. Trying to get as close as possible. I go ahead and record this one too. Oops. There we go. Got a camera on this side. All right, let's pull the shot. A little fast. A little fast. Definitely can go finer. Stop it right about 30. Probably about 32. Yep. 32.26. Okay. There we go. Nice. Lots of crema. I mean, that's a plus. Boy, I'm in a dropping mood today. That's like the third thing I dropped. Oh my goodness. Y'all, I need my coffee. That's the truth. This is what happens when you don't have coffee. It's like 3 in the afternoon my time, y'all. And I waited too long. This is what happens when you hang out sometimes with a family in the morning and you're just so busy. You forget to make your coffee. What's up with that? All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and give this a little, put on the refractometer and a little taste. And then we'll go finer. Alrighty. Just out of curiosity. Nice. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. Wow. 13.90. You see that, y'all? 13.90. Man, that's a high TDS. 32, 13.90. Dang. All right, let's give it a little taste. Cheers, salud, salanja, wherever you are in the world. Cheers, my friends. It's good. Very good. Very traditional, classic Italiano, you know. It's a lavazza, so it's, you know, the beans are very chocolatey, delicious. It's got a good mouthfeel. I want to go finer because I think this came out a little too fast, but, you know, we're not anything I want to complain about. Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, that is pretty good. So not gonna throw stones on that one. Now, guys, here's the thing. Like I said, kind of the difference between this grinder and that grinder, kind of getting back to the point of the video here. All metal and plastic. $10 difference. I really think it's about what type of promotion is on the grinder at the time. And if you know, where your budget is. I think that's probably the most important thing. You are not going to be sad by getting this. The only major difference between these two is the chute on this one is magnetic and comes out. I have a good friend of mine who has one of these, bought one when it first came out, then bought this bad boy, and it just drove him nuts that he couldn't remove that. It doesn't matter to me. I know that sounds weird. I'm not trying to poo-poo it, but I'm just saying it doesn't really matter to me because they both have ionizers, and I use the bellows like crazy. So I'm not really worried about that, and I've never had any clumping issues with this. So when it comes to it, this is why I tend to recommend the Mokkom over the OG Shardor, okay? But then it also kind of comes down to that bad boy. Do y'all want to see me use that one next? Because we use the Mokkom, but... So here's the thing. In my 64 millimeter commercial Shardor, I have sweet burrs. So there are upgraded burrs. I'm going to tell you the sweet burrs, in my opinion, are a little more finicky. So it might be a little tiny bit of dialing in, but it's probably definitely worth it. And if I had to pick out of the three of those, it would be those two. So OG would kind of be put to the side, Mokkom would be 2, and this would be my number 1 pick. So I'm telling you guys, anyone who buys this commercial class Shardor 64 flat, you are not going to be let down, okay? I'm just saying that. I could confidently tell you that right now. I've only one time ever had someone say they weren't happy with it, and I do kind of feel for that in that situation. That could have been a one-off, we'll put it that way, because most people, I have very, 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 very rarely would think anyone would have any type of issue with this. My only complaint right now is it doesn't have the longest cord. So unless you have a power adapter, that's something to kind of think about, is cord length, but they're all similar. All right, let's go ahead. Let's swap these around. So take that out of the way here. Come on now. There we go. There we go. Live videos, y'all. Live videos. Oh, it also has metal feet on the bottom, which is really nice. So that is a total plus. Okay. Whoa, shaking, rattle, and rolling. Sorry, y'all. So basically, again, guys, live video. You might hear my dogs bark. I have 3 warrior dachshunds. So because I have the other, see, it's basically, I'm going to go with about a 30. I'm going to use the exact same beans. Okay. That's going to be my guess, to be pretty similar. But again, like I mentioned, they're a little finicky, but worth it. The burrs are worth it, 100%. Sweet burrs are delicious. They're exactly as promised. But they are more work. My wife would say that means they're worth it. Definitely worth it. All right, y'all. Let's get this cleared out. Okay. Ooh. For all you puck peekers. That sounds terrible. What do you call that? Puck watchers? That's even worse. Oh my goodness. I was hoping it would have came out in one thing I could show it to you. Yeah, I always look at the puck. It's a good way to self-diagnose how you know your pull was and all that. So I definitely believe in checking your puck. It doesn't sound right. Go check your puck. Oh my goodness. All right, guys, dad jokes for days. I get my teenager coming out here yelling at me about it. Okay. Yeah, this one, I wish I would have cleared it sooner. This one got kind of in there. All right. All right, cool. Let me go ahead. I'm going to read a question while I got this all ready. I really appreciate you asking. Okay, cool. So you have the Shardor grinder, and you're looking into getting the multi-purpose burrs from Amazon. That's a good question. And between light roast and pour over, okay. And you have a fellow opus, nice dark roast, very cool. Okay, that bad boy has the clone multi-purpose burrs from Amazon. If you haven't already, go check out my video that I did on that. Ooh, guys, I hate saying this. I am really cheap. If y'all follow me, kind of know that. I really am appreciative if a brand reaches out to me and says, hey, you know, can you do a review on this? We'll send you XYZ. I'll take it. I'll take it any day because, guys, I couldn't afford to buy half the stuff. And I'm okay with doing that because I get to share it with y'all. When it comes to spending my own hard-earned money, like buying this refurb right here, I will research something till the cows come home. And I'm gonna tell you, the clone burrs, I feel bad even saying this. I've had SSP burrs, not me personally, but I mean, I've tried them at a friend's house and all that good stuff. And we've, not officially, but I've tried it versus this. And it's pretty awesome. So I feel bad kind of saying that, but I don't think there's no shade in the game. They're awesome. I don't think everyone has the same experience. It's important to look at the reviews. If you want me to send you a link, I'm more than happy to do that, but it's well worth it. If you are into pour overs, multi-purpose is amazing. You'll love it. And the price is really fantastic. The other one I think anyone should consider is LeBrew. LeBrew, I think, has done a really good job. I'm a huge fan of what LeBrew does. I bought my LeBrew. They don't send it out to creators. I'm just going to tell you guys that. I mean, I asked them if they wanted to send one to me, but they just have such low margins that they don't send it. Everyone's got to buy it. And I'm totally cool with that. I'd rather have someone say that to me because I want to support them. But LeBrew makes a really good multi-purpose. So if you're looking for a good burr and you want to wait, they're worth it. I'm trying to think what theirs are. They're like $100. So they're double, but they're really good. I'm probably gonna buy a multi-purpose LeBrew and a HU LeBrew in the next couple months, and I'm gonna put them. The plans are, I'm gonna put one in here. I'll probably do multi-purpose on this one, and the HU will go into that bad boy right there, the CF64V. That's what I'm thinking. So yeah, but yeah, definitely good question. I've gotten great experience with them. Yeah, okay, so how do you think, your next question, how do you think, and thanks so much, I really appreciate it. How do you compare to the multi-purpose to LeBrew? Okay, so the generic burrs, we'll just call them generic clones, they could have imperfections, and I have heard folks say that they've had issues with, let's say, like a rock, and it doesn't do well. James Hoffman did a really great video where he purposely bought clone burrs, and this was just pretty recently, so go check out the video, and he was throwing in rocks, and it really took a lot to mess with anything. He did it was an awesome video. I love James. But check that out. But that's the only thing. The LeBrew is like, they're titanium coated. They do this like carbon type of process that makes them harder. Basically, it's the exact same thing that you would find with SSP. There's just no other way to say it. My LeBrews, the sweet ones in here, okay, that we're gonna use right now, they are not cast. They're actually machined. So that's the main difference. But other than that, it's basically like SSP. So yeah, it's basically SSP half the price. That's really what it comes down to. I wish I could say it a better way, but that's the truth. So it's SSP, but half the price. All right, guys, let's go ahead. Let's do another 19 grams. And we'll try to imitate this shot with the sweet burrs in the 64 commercial. Okay. And hopefully I got my dialing in nice and good. Okay. Yeah, I am all about having multiple flat burr grinders for different uses. And that's kind of my thing. My wife thinks I'm crazy for keeping all of these. But I tell her I have to, because then I can install different burrs in them and use them for different types of coffees. She's not a coffee person. She thinks I'm totally crazy. And maybe I am. Or maybe I'm not. We'll see. Goodness. We'll see once I start roasting my own beans. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead. I really love the build quality on this. This is cast aluminum. So this is a cast aluminum, all metal. This is $250, $169. So for, I mean, really think about it, about $100, a little bit more, $110, whatever that is. Price-wise, it's well worth it because of the construction, and it has a 350 watt. It's basically the same thing as you're gonna get in a DF64. So pretty awesome, needless to say. Huge fan, listening to how this thing hums. Oh, I got it stuck. It goes through beans really fast. Oh, man. Making a mess. Just making sure I'm all clear. Yep. There we go. Well worth the mess, I bet. All right. Wife's not home, so it's okay. I'm allowed. Y'all, I've been married, this next year is going to be 20 years? Yeah, 20 years. So next year, 20 years, 19 this year. That's a long time. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's do some puck prep here. And we'll take a look at this grind consistency. Okay, let's see how I did. Ooh, that's ultra fine. I might have went too fine, but we'll try. The last one was fast, so yeah, that could be it. All right, Alexis. Let me go and read your comment here, my friend, before I get started. I'm on my small phone today. Yeah, okay, so you got the 30 ml basket. Okay, cool. 54. And it says the capacity is 20 to 24 on fine. I use the 18 gram, even though it's rated. Yeah, bro, I do the exact same thing. So I actually have my basket right here, my step down. Okay. I'm kind of tempted to use this one for this pool, but I want to keep it consistent with the other one. But here's the step down. Here's the 58. What is it, down to 32 or 34? I tend to try to underfill it a little bit just because I like the headspace. And then I kind of find that when you push it, you know, it's kind of like a little too much. I do find these, they're forgiving what's inside, but I don't think they're too forgiving on overfills. And I am an overfiller. I overfill all the time, and it's stupid. Y'all, I'm telling you my coffee, you know, secrets here. So don't hold those against me. Goodness. But yeah, I tend to do overfilling. So lately I've been kind of, you guys will watch videos. I'll choke the machine. I get too zealous. And I might be doing that right now. We'll find out. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's do the puck prep. And then we'll pull that shot. Yeah, this is super fine. Man, It's crazy fine. Let me know in the comments if you guys are interested. I do have, what is it called? It's a gauge that goes on to a portafilter to test the pressure inside the actual group head. And I picked it up from Shades of Coffee. And I'm going to be using it. If you guys want to see it as a full-time, like a full video, let me know. I'm going to be using it on a stock Gaggia portafilter. And if that's something you guys are interested in, please let me know. Send me a message, comment. Because I've had it for a while. I kept thinking, I don't know if anyone's going to be interested in that. Every now and then, guys, I have stuff that I just chilling here in the office or in my kitchen that I haven't made videos on because I'm like, do people want to see this? So, got a lot of junk. In a good way. Okay. All right. Let's do some distribution. Okay. Let's hit this with a tamp. Nice. Hook screw man up top. All right, let's go and get this locked in. Nice. Cool, cool. All right. I'm going to turn this camera on. We'll film this one too. Guys, when I shoot my videos, I've been shooting them on an iPhone almost this whole entire time with my channel. And I finally got a DJI camera just because of the stabilization and getting really close into the shots. So I'm stoked. All right, let's pull this, turn on our scale. All right. Scale got a little funky. Yeah, look how fine that is. I think I've just literally choked it. Bummer. I had a feeling. This won't be the first time I've done that with these sweet burrs. But I'm telling you all, these sweet burrs are crazy. As far as like, you could really go overboard fast. Okay. Bummer. Oh, that kills me. I hate when I do that. Oh my goodness. Oh man. All right, guys. We'll do a do-over. Yeah, definitely. Definitely interesting, my friend. Okay. That was a bummer. I did not like that. Telling y'all, when I do that kind of stuff, it drives me crazy. It's the wasting of the beans, and it's gonna make me even more crazy when I've basically roasted my own beans. Because I'll think, you roasted those. What you doing that for? If y'all have any recommendation on what green beans I should be buying or what brands, I know about Sweet Maria's and all that stuff. But if there's any ones that are Amazon accessible that anyone knows who roasts their own beans, definitely let me know. I'm really open to suggestions. I can't wait to get started. I might bring it over and just kind of show you guys the box. But like I said, I'm going to do probably a full unboxing video. It's going to be a little bit of a learning curve, guys. I've been around coffee for the last 20 plus years, working in a cafe in college. I've shared this with you guys before. In my day job, I am an insurance agent in the commercial world. I write policies for cafes and business owners. Yeah, I'm kind of like an underwriter insurance agent. That's the best way to put it. If anyone knows that business, that's what I do for a living. That's totally my job. Like to know the risk and all that stuff and everything. I've been an underwriter and a manager, department head manager for a while. Now I'm a agent. So soon enough, if anyone needs any business insurance, please let me know. I could probably help you out. But I've never gotten to roasting. I've written policies for folks who do roasting, and I'm really excited. So really cool. Basically, the M1 Lite is kind of like a proofer. If anyone knows what that is, that's, you know, what a lot of times a roastery might, it has Collider, I believe. Is it Collider? It has software. I'm trying to remember what the software is called right now. And you could put profiles in, and it's kind of like doing like pressure profiles with something like a Gaggia or Gaggio or any of these other pressure profiling things, but it's more like roast profiles. So I'm pretty stoked. I really, really appreciate Espresso Outlet for sending this out to me to try it out and do the review. So big thank you and shout out to them. They're awesome. That whole crew is amazing. I love their YouTube channel. I have been watching their stuff for years and asking them questions ever before I got one of their things. And they're awesome. So definitely cool. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's get another 18 grams and we'll go coarser. Alexis, if you're still watching, my friend, you want me to use the step down basket? Do you want to go crazy? Want to go wild? We'll do a crazy wild step down. Ooh, hot. I think that is something you'd want to see, right, my friend? Oh, there it is. Almost lost it. We'll use the IKAPE Step Down because this thing is cool. This is one of the most unique baskets I've ever had. Okay, we're gonna put it in here to let it get hot. Run a little bit of water. Okay, that's gonna get nice and hot. And we're gonna have some forgiving action here. Okay, and I'm gonna swap the beans. If we're gonna go crazy, we're gonna full go crazy. We're gonna do some Mexicano beans from Mexico, Chiapas. I love Chiapas coffee. Guys, I'm a huge fan of coffee from Mexico. It's one of my absolute favorite varietals in places where they make coffee. I don't know if it's my ancestors speaking to me or what, but it does please my palate the most. I really am a huge fan. I was thinking about buying some green Chiapas coffee, and being that maybe one of my first roasts I do. This is a medium to light, and like I said, Chiapas, single origin. I'm gonna do on this basket, like I was saying, that I tend to go smaller on this basket because I am gonna go a little bit coarse too. I'm doing a 17.1. So 17.1, this is an 18 gram. This is the IKAPE coffee canister. Okay, let's go ahead. I've never used this with the sweet burrs, so I'm actually really stoked to try out the sweet burrs with this machine. Well, with this setup here. Okay. All right. Hey man, as long as you're down with it. Okay. Let's go ahead. Go coarser. So definitely want to go coarser. I'm gonna get it activated and put this right here. I'm gonna move it up 10. It's not gonna go, that was so fine. I don't even think, I even think this might be too fine for this particular one. Okay, cool. All right, let's go ahead and pull this. Thing is a beast, listen to it. It's pretty much, it's a little quieter than a DF64, but it's still really loud. Okay. Ooh, that smells so good. Very good. Sorry for the bumping around, guys. All right, let's go ahead and do the puck prep. And we're gonna be using, again, a step down basket here. So this will be a step down. Then if y'all are into really geeky stuff, I do have another YouTube channel that I'm gonna be doing a couple review videos on some Ghostbusters ghost traps, a full proton pack that I just got, a 1-to-1 proton pack. I'm starting to put together some stuff to cosplay with my teenager. And if anyone's interested, I don't know if you saw my last video, I have a new DeLorean. I also have a new 1/18 scale Ecto 1. And I'm gonna start doing videos on my other review channel for my geeky stuff. Because, guys, I might be in my mid-40s, but I am an 80s child stuck in a man's body. So I love my 80s stuff. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead, get this nice and dry, and we'll pull this other shot. It really kind of comes down to, if you're really on the fence with these grinders, it just really comes down to, does the grinder suit your needs? What type of coffee you make? And I think a lot of times folks kind of get stuck in their head and think that, you know, it's kind of like a decision for a lifetime. Sometimes buying new gear. I do. So maybe I shouldn't say people. I should say I do and have. And maybe you're like me. But I tend to think nowadays it's better to get something and practice with it than not have something at all. And for years, I've shared this, guys, many times with you guys. I didn't make espresso at home for like 20 years. And that's crazy. You know, I used a lot of pods and did tons of pour overs and mocha pots. I love my mocha pot. I just got a brand new mocha pot I'm going to share with you guys. I'm going to do a video on real soon. A really super high-end one. It's copper. So I'm going to be doing that pretty soon. But I'm just saying, I love that type of stuff. But forever, I didn't make espresso with my own espresso machine because I couldn't make a decision. And that's pretty dumb. Like, I'm talking about me. I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about anyone else. I'm saying for me, that was pretty dumb. And it took my wife being like, dude, stop being dumb. Just go buy a cheap machine, have some fun, and enjoy it. And that was the best advice I could have ever got. So this basket actually doesn't require you to do tamping or puck prep. I always do, because that's just me. But it doesn't require it. So it's pretty cool. If you haven't already watched my video, I'm telling you guys, I recommend this one so much. This has been a fun basket. If you are a total coffee geek and you want something that's different than everything else, you're craving something different, this is a cool step down. IKAPE really did a great job. Okay. I just want to make sure it's nice and locked in there. Okay, let's go ahead. So again, this is the step down basket IKAPE. Putting the scale on there. Okay, just want to make sure it's zeroed out. I hope I don't choke it on this one, because I could see that happening too. Bummer. I'm going to try to push this one through. There we go. Got some drops. Definitely a lot longer. I could have really went coarser. I probably didn't even have to do the puck prep. In all honesty, guys, I really probably shouldn't have. Sometimes I get put on autopilot when I do this stuff. But I'm telling you, this basket, it's going to run longer, but it's going to be a really good shot. It's crazy forgiving. It's super sweet. I've never used it with the sweet LeBrew, so I'm very, very curious on what this is going to taste like. I know some folks are kind of probably already cringing because I'm almost to a minute, but I am going to push this through. I know that I'm not hurting my machine. It's got OPV. It's cool. Stock. Yeah, this is ultra long. But I'm telling you, it's going to be good. I already know. Got some good crema built up. Yeah, way too long. It's killing me. Now it's officially killing me. Oh my goodness. I'll stop at about 25. Come on, once we get to that 2-minute mark, yeah. It's already past that point. Oh, no, it's just about to hit it. It's still going though. It's still going. Oh man, this is gonna be one concentrated shot. All right. No mas. Oh my goodness. It just kept going, man. It just kept going. Oh goodness. Okay, so let's take a look at this, and then we'll put this on the refractometer for sure. But look, we got some good crema. I mean, it's falling a little flat, but these are older beans at this point. Okay. The super crema I'm using have a Robusta, so, you know, they're going to have more crema. These are 100% Arabica. Okay. Oh my goodness. I got to test this. Wow. Whoa. I'm shocked, y'all. I am crazy shocked. If you can't see it, let me show you. Oh, man, I am so surprised. 8.96. Man, I would expect that was going to be like through the roof. Interesting. Again, I've never had this with the Sweet LeBrew. So let me give this a taste here. And we'll see how we did. Again, this is not a normal basket. So anybody watching this and they just caught it while I was pulling that, this is step down basket. That is pretty pleasant. It has a very different mouthfeel than what I was expecting. Again, this is Sweet LeBrew. Sweet burrs. I mean, it's definitely sweet, and it shouldn't be sweet because it was too long. Man, that's actually really pleasant. It's actually not that strong. I'm really shocked. This is like a mystery because this is not what I would expect. I guarantee you if I were to swap out different beans, it might not be the same. That was actually so delicious. I have to drink this whole thing. Wow. Yeah, y'all. That was actually really good. I'm shocked. I was not expecting that. Definitely not expecting that. 100%. Interesting. Okay. And here's my first shot. Again, nice and cold. This is going to be cold. What a contrast. This is like Italian, very, very Italian, very delicious, very good. You know, I like it. You know, there's just no other way to say it. It's good. This is, again, this was the Mokkom. Mokkom, awesome. You know, kind of going back to grinders, guys, you know, it all kind of comes down to, I don't think you can make a bad choice out of these three grinders. You know, and I get, like I said, I get a lot of people asking questions about, you know, which one they should get. If you're choosing over these three, I'm just going to tell you right now, I don't think you're going to make a bad choice. It just kind of comes down to what's best for your needs. You know, and then also just kind of comes down to, do you want to go with, whoops, oh man, I almost dropped my other grinder over here. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, you got to ask yourself, do you want to go, or do you think you'd be better off doing Conical? You know, because that's the big question. Are you, what kind of coffee do you drink, and how are you planning on drinking your coffee? So I just did a review on this grinder a couple days ago. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out now, or, you know, after this video. This is the Gammori 38T. It's not the Plus, so this is battery operated, and it's a great little grinder. If you were looking to make espresso and you want to make it on the go, you know, you have that Conical, you know, experience. You know, it's all comes down to what works good for you. So this little grinder is about $100. It's all metal construction. When it comes to mobile grinders, it's definitely, I actually think this one's a very budget grinder when it comes to some of the mobile grinders, okay? Definitely budget grinder. You know, I am a huge fan of the Star Seeker grinders, okay? If you're looking for a good conical grinder, the Star Seeker grinders are awesome. My favorite conical that I've shared a lot with y'all is the DC63. I really love it. The hardest thing with the DC63, I think, is its price point. You know, conicals are so cheap that you can get some really good budget conicals for a really low price, like $100, you know. My G5 from Hybrew is about $120, $150. I love it. It's a great conical grinder. So if you're really trying to go for that classic Italian, you are a dark roast fanatic. I'm using Lavazza right now, the Super Crema. You know, that is, conical is a great way to go. It definitely is. If you like the diversity of having light roast and dark roast, I recommend usually going flat. You know, I mean, that's kind of what it comes down to. The Star Seeker 48, Alexis, he got that. That's one I recommended to him, and it's awesome. I have the Edge. There's also another one they just came out with. I'm hoping maybe I could get it at some point. But there's just so many good options out there. You know, it just really kind of comes down to, you know, what is going to meet your coffee needs. And, you know, ultimately, I'll just say it, meet your budget. You know, because that's kind of the big thing. And I know a lot of folks don't want to say that, but it's the truth. Here, let's turn this on. Oh, that's weird. Why did I do that? There it goes. You know, conical is just fantastic. Now, a little grinder like this, if you guys see, it's like Pinocchio, no strings on me. There aren't any wires. This is battery operated. You know, its big brother is fantastic. I've used its big brother a lot. This is a plug-in. It's a lot faster, but it's basically the same, very similar geometry, but it has a really good experience, you know. It all just, again, it just kind of comes down to what's good for you. Biggest advice I'm going to give anyone: don't stick on the fence too long when it comes to anything. If you love making espresso at home, get a good grinder. That's going to be the most important thing. You know, that's the most important thing to your experience. I really love that quote that James Hoffman says about how you kind of date your espresso machines, you marry your grinders. Well, I do like that, but I also kind of say sometimes it's okay to buy a cheap grinder if it means you're jumping into making good espresso at home. You know, I recommend it. If you know, don't be on the fence too long. You know, that's kind of the biggest advice I want to give anybody, because you guys, I get asked this question all the time, and I don't mind answering it. I love answering it, but it's kind of one of those things. You know, you can't go wrong to a certain point. So definitely coolness. This thing is really slow. I like it, but think of it as a hand grinder that's electric. I have the Whirly. I really like the Whirly. Alexis, I know you have the Whirly too, my friend. Whirly's a really good one. The speeds are pretty similar. Anytime you have these hand grinders, they're kind of like that. Very, very similar. Very, very, very similar. It just takes time. You know, you can't rush it. If I've said this in my review video, if I was in a car and I was the passenger, I would use this to make coffee in the car. You know, if I was on a train, a plane, I know plane people are like, what the crap is going on with that? But I'm just saying, traveling, this would be a great little companion, 100%. Let's see where we're at. Almost there. I do like to think of kind of pick it up. It sounds silly, but like I said, I kind of think it more like a hand grinder. That's pretty cool, right? Yeah, you don't have to worry about popcorn right there. Thankfully, there's a magnetic bottom, so I'm not too worried. But yeah, I could see a party foul happening. The biggest thing with this one is the lack of blower. But I kind of addressed it in my video. There are some options. Oh, but it's not done yet. Oh, it's so close. There it goes. Oh my goodness. All right. Let's pull one more shot here, guys. The reason why I wanted to show you this is I wanted to show you this without tamping and show you the results I get. This basket is wild. Okay. It's a wild basket. I don't even know. It's like wizardry. It's like the wizard basket. Okay, so I've just basically tapped it down a little bit. Now I'm not even tamping, I'm not doing WDT, but I am gonna do a little distribution. I'm gonna show you how crazy this is, okay? Again, see how that was kind of overfilled a tiny bit? Ah, goodness gracious. Okay, this is gonna be wild. I think I might have overfilled it. Yep, I did. Totally. I knew I did it, but I was still trying it. You know when you do something wrong and you know it's wrong? Don't tell anybody I did this, y'all. Keep this our coffee secret. Okay. I am gonna do something a little, do some street coffee here. Go a little street here. Old school. All right. Man, I did not want to do too much puck prep on this. I was just trying to show you guys how not to, but I cannot not readjust, as weird as that sounds, this a tiny bit. And I'm not going to tamp it, but I will do some distribution. I am going to do the WDT because of what I just did was stupid. But I don't waste coffee. There's some folks that would just get this and just pour it over and start new. Not me. Okay. I'm not going to waste my coffee. I've said this before. I'll say it again. I'm a little too cheap. Okay. Yep, that's good. Okay, so that was not tamping. Check this craziness out. Down and dirty here. This is Cowboy Coffee. No rules, no rules. Old West coffee. Spaghetti Western. Breaking all the rules. Now I'm gonna make this the way I like to make it. I'm gonna make a big boy cup here. Breaking all the rules, my friends. I'm gonna stop it right about 35. Right there. 37. All right, cool. All right, let's give it a little taste. Sorry, guys, getting a message from my wife, and I didn't know it was something crazy important. Let me go ahead. Sorry, this is what happens when you do something live, you know. All right, let's give this a taste. Appreciate y'all so much. This is the Cowboy Coffee. Look at that crema. Look at that crazy crema, okay? Look at that crazy crema. This is the wild step down basket, the IKAPE Step Down Basket. Let's put this on the refractometer so you guys kind of see what I'm talking about. I have been pulling shots like this a lot. And I'm telling you guys, I have been enjoying them like nobody's business. This little basket has been so much fun to mess with. It is not your traditional coffee experience. I'll tell you that right now. It is wild, and I think it's well worth the price of admission. If you're looking for something fun to mess around with, this step-down basket is really good and fun. Okay, so I put almost 40 grams of water in, and I'm at 9.7 on TDS. So that's pretty high for that amount. I actually was expecting to be a little bit lower. Let's give this a little taste. Again, this was off the Conical grinder right here. The little baby grinder. Let's give it a little taste. What a difference. This has a great mouthfeel. Okay, this was off of the Mokkom, and this, because there's more water in it, it's just smoother. It's more like Americano style. It's really tasty. It's delightful. It's very sweet. And this isn't a dark Italian roast bean. Okay, this isn't my Mexican chiapas. So I'm telling you guys, this is a delightful cup. A really, really delightful cup. Well, I'm reading your comment right now. It's awesome. Best way to do it, coffee. Break the rules. Yes, my friend, break the rules. Break them, break them, break them. I've shared this with you guys before. One of my first espresso machines, the first espresso machine I ever bought for making coffee at home was a $40 one, the DeLonghi ECP. And I really love the big baskets and the 51 millimeter. This is not one, but I'm just showing this to kind of give a reference. They're really tall, and everyone's gone crazy for step down. And y'all, here's my step down basket from Normcore, which I love. But basically, this is like a 51 millimeter almost. It's 49. But I'm just saying, this is the 51 millimeter you get off of that 4-shot basket that you would use with DeLonghi is basically a step down basket. So I've loved this type of espresso for a really long time. And I love pulling big shots and all that, adding water in, doing kind of Americano, but not, more like a pour over. There's so much good stuff you can do for sure. For sure. Oh, that's awesome, man. I'm reading right here. You've been mixing 3 up. That's awesome. Yeah, there's so many cool things with coffee. There's different ways you can do it. I think the most important thing that I always try to remind myself and everybody, don't ever get too caught up in your own head. Don't think that you have to have. And here's the other big thing, and one of the big questions I get all the time is someone will say to me, hey, Tony, I just got this grinder right here that you have, the Shardor Commercial or the Shardor or the Gammori 38. What's the grind size you recommend for espresso? And it's a fair question. But the truth is, the beans that you have are going to be different than the beans I have. Okay, that's one big thing. Also, a lot of times I use Lavazza for doing review videos and stuff because it's something you can get anywhere in the world. But I'm telling you guys, I've had this exact same super crema in different places and had different results. Alexis has shared with me, another great subscriber, good guy, good friend. We're always chatting on Instagram. When he's ordered this before from Amazon in California, it's not as fresh. And that's the truth. It depends on where you get it. Depends on how long it's been sitting. Your beans, even if it's the exact same roaster and the exact same brand, could be different. So it's just really important just to remember, you know, it's also just dial in. You know, all I could do is give you kind of a good idea, maybe where to be, but it'll be up to you to do the dialing in part. Because it's all gonna be different. Even your water will have something to do with it. You know, it could be water, it could be machine, tons of stuff. There's so many variables, and that's one of the things I love about coffee. Oh, man, I made a mess. I was trying to show you guys this cool puck. Anyway, guys, hey, I really appreciate y'all so much. I will have the video for the M1 Light Roaster. I'm going to be doing the unboxing first, and then I'll be setting up the roaster, probably getting to know it a little bit before I show it all to you. There are some videos already out there for it, but I can't wait to kind of goof around with it. Big thank you to Espresso Outlet for sending that out. I really cannot wait to start roasting my own beans and kind of sharing that with you guys, because I do think that's a little bit of a journey. I am a huge fan of the Coffee Chronicler, and there's a really good video. Trying to remember his first name. Oh, the Coffee Chronicler. I just, for some reason, his first name just, I just flew out of my head. But I really like his stuff. As a writer, he's amazing, and I love his YouTube channel. But he's talked a lot about his journey, and he's been roasting for a long time. There's a lot of good roasting channels out there, and believe me, guys, I am a newbie when it comes to roasting. So if there's any advice you want to give me, or there's any pointers, please do. Follow me on Instagram, send me a message, write it on the comments below of any of my videos. Guys, I am a newbie when it comes to that. You know, I think sometimes people get YouTube channels and they get stupid. I'm not trying to be weird. They act like they know everything. I don't know everything. I'm not the coffee expert. I am a coffee geek, coffee dad. I'm somebody's dad. I'm just an insurance agent. So I am learning. So please, if there's any advice, I'm really open to it. But I have it chilling right now, so I'll wait to do the unboxing. I don't want to show you guys all right now. I'll wait for that video. But I really appreciate you guys. Got the roasting video coming out. Got a grinder coming again. Got a new grinder that should be coming from MiCoffee, a mobile grinder. That's something I have on the horizon. Going to be doing the Crematune upgrade for this machine. And then I have the Gaggia mate that I'm going to be putting on the MiCoffee Apex pretty soon too. So I got those two upgrades. And then I have a mocha pot and a bunch of other cool stuff to share with you guys. So I really appreciate you hanging with me. I'm trying to do the best I can with these live streams. Trying to go live at least once a week. But I know I was doing 2 or 3 times before. I've got a different job now, so it kind of requires a little bit more of me time-wise. So I am trying to do at least one live stream Saturdays and Sundays once a week, so make sure you subscribe. Appreciate you guys so much. Thanks so much for watching, and y'all rock.